Welcome to the DJ and Stafford radio show. The date is Monday, December 19th, 2022. Today's show will be discussing the World Cup final. We are recording from Cambridge, beautiful Cambridge, Massachusetts.
We only have one thing to talk about, but
It's the Giants, right? It was a big win by the Giants.
Big win by the Giants, an unfortunate loss by the Patriots. So, no. We have one thing to talk about, and we can easily fill about 3 hours.
No, what happened yesterday? I was watching...
There was a soccer game. Who
was playing in it? What happened?
I think it was it looked like it was Brentford versus Swansea City, actually. No. Talking about the World Cup final, Argentina versus France, possibly the greatest sports moment we've ever
I never
witnessed.
Like to be that guy. We can't say it's the greatest because it's one of the best sports games for sure I've seen.
I'm literally going through the greatest sports moments that I've seen, and I can't think of anything that compares to it. Genuinely.
I saw a lot of people on TikTok, brand new people watching soccer, football, whatever you want to call it, and they're like, yo, this game's not bad. And then everyone in the comments are like, yo, for us soccer viewers, like, you never get a game this good. Like
you're never going to find anything better than this.
Yeah, if people if this is the first game you ever really watched and got into, you're gonna be disappointed in most of the games. I mean, I can't imagine really watching like a Man City versus Aston Villa from now on. Really, I could care less. I mean,
well, that's what we're gonna have to go back to after this. I don't want to go back to that.
We are gonna go back to that, but let's not talk about the future. Let's talk about what happened yesterday.
Anyways, I originally planned to start up this show talking briefly about the third place match, but
I could care less. Croatia won 2-1. If anyone didn't, let's go.
Good back-to-back wins. Good back-to-back World Cups for Croatia after not getting out of the group stage in 2014. And props to Morocco.
Okay.
And now we have something to talk about.
Let's get to the real meat.
Argentina versus France. So first half, Argentina is dominant. France, I don't think France had their first shot until like the 70th minute or something like that.
Argentina were dominating the game. That's the word, dominating.
Yeah.
It just scored 2 goals, and not just that. They were carving up the midfield. They literally were just... It wasn't like they were going around the French defense. They were going right through the heart of that midfield, and it clearly shown that they were missing Kanté, Pogba, and Rabiot was getting just outplayed, and they were just going right through the heart of the midfield. It wasn't just Messi. Obviously, it was Messi's show yesterday, but everyone was contributing. Everyone.
They defended using attack because literally they were on the attack the whole time. France never even had a chance to get an attack going because they couldn't stop Argentina. So, good penalty from Messi in the first, I believe in the 23rd minute. Definitely a foul from Dembele on Di Maria. And then Messi steps up.
You don't want Dembele guarding anyone, defending anyone. You just don't want it. He's a very, very super talented player. But
that was bad.
I mean, he finally looked like he was informed, Dembele, for this World Cup, and he finally looked like he's getting back to that old self at Dortmund. And then he just returns back to his old ways.
He got walloped this game. I'm talking walloped. Yeah, it's got to be a certain level when you're getting subbed off in the 40th minute.
In professionals, in a World Cup final.
In a World Cup final, in a professional match in general, getting subbed off in the first half, something bad has to be happening. All right?
You only get subbed off that early if you're injured.
Yeah, exactly. And he wasn't injured. And so did Giroud. Giroud is unbelievably good he was unbelievably good this World Cup, but he got subbed off in the 40th minute, literally producing nothing.
He was bad. I don't think I was a little harsher of maybe subbing him off. I guess they wanted to do that. They sub 2 players off. I think Dembele you needed to sub off. He was just getting beat.
Yes. And
he was losing the ball way too much. Whether somewhat attack they were going. Mbappe was asleep, but we'll get to him later. But it was bad.
Those were some questionable moves to bring in Marcus Thuram.
It worked. I'm just saying it worked.
But yes, it worked out in the long run.
In the long run.
Especially Marcus Thuram, who was great in that game.
And I love that they put Mbappe more centrally and more as a number 9 striker. That worked against England. They put him more striker.
Yes.
And I like that a lot. I think Mbappe as a striker works. He works anywhere in the field. But yeah, those are really questionable moves, and it worked out later in the run, in the game.
The second half started off really slow.
Pretty slow. It was like both teams kind of fill each other out, even though Argentina were up 2-0. You knew the game was not going to end 2-0, and you knew the game was going to have more goals and more throws.
Well, realistically, I felt like this game might just end 2-0, to be honest, because neither team were producing really anything. But then France gets the momentum. They literally get 1 goal.
It really came out of nowhere, and that's a foul. It's a straight-up foul. It's a PK.
Undoubtedly.
And it wasn't like any brilliant moment from anyone. It was just kind of like they kind of kicked it over, and then who did Otamendi foul?
I'm trying to remember, actually. I forget who he fouled. But either way,
he fouled the French player, and it's a foul. It's a PK, and just like that, Mbappe, I think you knew he was going to score that, and they're back in the game, ready 2-1.
That second goal,
and then seconds later,
what a goal that second one was! A lovely ball played over the top to Mbappe, and then Mbappe with, I'm talking pinpoint accuracy, precision. Everything that he did to meet that ball was perfect. Perfect. And hits it into the bottom corner with enough power to get past Emi Martinez, who's been very tough to beat.
Who's been the best player of the tournament by far.
Best goalkeeper of the tournament, definitely. But Mbappe just with laser precision hits it into the bottom corner. It was incredible to watch. And we're all sat there, obviously, nothing against France, but we definitely want Argentina to win. We're all stunned. We can't believe. And Argentina, we said this, they were vulnerable to choking like that.
They were. We kind of hinted at it, but French, they look like they're sleeping the whole game.
Yeah.
I think they had too much cheese before, or they had too much wine and baguettes.
Yeah.
They were falling asleep. They played so bad. They fell asleep the whole game, and all of a sudden, bada bing, bada boom, it's 2-2.
Mm-hmm. And it's not like Argentina was started dominating after that as well. It was
after the 2 goals, after Mbappe, literally just Mbappe woke up and he decided, I'll score 2 goals. Then after that, what a game that was, going back and forth. Both teams had clear goal scoring opportunities. It was crazy. It was so much fun.
We almost saw Messi score in the last minute of added time with that shot from outside the box. I felt like when that was happening,
it was written in the stars.
I know. It was like, this is meant to be. This is meant to be. And he hits it.
It was a little too Hollywood-esque. Like, it would be if he scored, that would have been like, all right, like this sounds like a movie Scorsese directed.
I'm actually gonna wake up.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna pinch myself. That was a little too much, but it's a great save by Lloris. But yeah, after Mbappe scored that second goal, 2-2. It was France finally woke up, and it was just back and forth, and then obviously they got to extra time. Even in extra time too, back and forth. Both teams were not holding back. This is the first time, usually in a while, in extra time, I've seen teams wanting to score. They weren't just playing for the PK shootout. Both teams didn't want to play. I mean, they were okay with it, obviously, but both teams wanted to get that goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They really wanted to get that goal.
And Argentina did get the first goal. It wasn't the prettiest goal we've ever seen, but
I think the build-up play was very good.
The build-up play was good. That's true, yeah. But then the finish, barely crossed the line, and that was a moment.
No, that was pretty much in the line. Yeah, remember, it wasn't
over the line.
Close.
Obviously, it was almost a goal line clearance though, but it went over the line. And that moment felt like this is written in the stars.
Yeah.
Like God came down onto the field and blessed all those Argentine players and had them score. But then Mbappe,
the supervillain, Thanos, he snaps his fingers and he ties it up. He really is a supervillain, by the way. If the France won that game, everyone was rooting for Argentina. The only people that weren't rooting for Argentina is probably France and some Brazilians, okay?
That's true, yeah.
Everyone was rooting for Messi in Argentina, and Mbappe would have been the supervillain. He would have been... Training's going to be awkward anyway, but if France won, it would have been even more awkward.
I think Mbappe can rest easy, though.
When you score a hat-trick and you still lose, I mean, he's...
That's tough, actually.
Imagine the locker room after, him yelling at his teammates. He definitely...
I'm the best player on this team.
And we still lost. I score a hat-trick.
You're garbage. You're garbage. You're garbage.
Yeah.
That's probably what the locker room looked like. He looked and gave Dembele a slap on the face.
Yeah, it was...
And said, "Where'd you go?"
Where did they go? But Mbappe played his heart out.
But that's what we wanted to see. We went into this. We said Mbappe versus Messi, old versus new.
That's what happened. That's what it was, literally.
Yeah, and
Messi 2 goals, Mbappe 3 goals,
and all of our expectations were met in that sense.
Exceeded almost.
Yeah.
And then right before PK shootout, what a save by Martinez.
That might be you can make a case that that's the greatest save just ever made.
It was a great save, by the way. Even forget about hiding in the moment.
Yeah, it was a
and
great
saying
save.
it was the last second of the World Cup final. They scored, that game's over. I think the whistle blows after that. That's game's over.
Colomani that was not a horrible finish. He put it and it was going to the bottom corner.
He could have maybe finished it better, you could say, but still amazing save. Amazing save.
Gets the
if
leg
Mbappe
outstretched.
gets that chance, so he's burying that.
Probably,
he's burying that back of the net, running probably to Messi and celebrating right in front of him, but he's burying that. But then after that, after the Martinez save, Argentina comes down the other end.
Yeah, they do.
And Martinez, as a top-level striker, should be getting that at least on target with that header.
I want to know what happened to Lautaro Martinez this tournament. He's filthy for Inter. He's so good.
He's him or Giroud are probably the best strikers in Serie A.
Yeah, honestly. But for some reason, he's like the anti Harry Maguire. He missed 3 chances, and one of them and he missed a fourth where he was offsides on.
Yeah, and then I think from the start of the tournament, him against Saudi Arabia, he had 4 goals, but all the 4 were offsides, and it was. I think just from that
downhill, man. Oh
downhill for sure. That's why he hasn't been starting. But I mean, he was really not good. I was really worried he was going to have to take that last PK.
Actually, he was probably due up to take it. Honestly, I don't know. Can we figure that out? Do they tell us?
We could definitely figure that out, but there's definitely like
Well, he was on the fifth
because they had to put their like top, at least their first 5. I don't think they would tell you 6 or 7, but you have to tell you your first 5. They write it down and give it to FIFA.
He probably was the 5th because they did it for the Netherlands game as well. Why would you change that if he scored the winning penalty in that one? Why would you change it?
I guess he could score winning penalties, but God forbid he's got to score. Because, like I said, there was so much action. After his 2-2, the whole game just opened up, and both teams were just trying to get that goal. Mm-hmm. They did, but even after 3-3, they were trying to get that 4th goal. They were just going at each other.
Yeah, exactly. And it happened what everyone kind of wished wouldn't happen. It went to a PK shootout. We wanted to see these two teams definitively separate each other.
I was thinking about it, in hockey, they have shootouts in the regular season, and then a couple years ago they finally changed that. In playoffs, it's just overtime.
Yep.
And obviously, hockey's a golden goal, first goal wins. Mm-hmm. But what if we did that for soccer? Let's say you can't win a final or let's say a semifinal on PKs because it's so strange.
Well, Croatia would be out in the first round, so
a lot of teams who are deadly in PKs. A lot of teams are bad at PKs, like England historically are very bad in PKs.
Yeah.
Maybe they would because let's say it's golden goal or maybe not golden goal. At least like after 2 halftimes, if it's still tied, you play another 2 halves. Mm-hmm. I guess the players would die maybe, but like still PKs is a very strange way to decide a World Cup final or to decide something.
Hear me out. What if they did? Do you know how like MLS would do shootouts?
Yeah, you can't. That's too American, too janky.
I actually think that'd be better though. I genuinely do. Call me American, but I think
it's
very
better. American. It's too janky. They would never do that. They wouldn't even. You've said that. You bring that up. I know what you were talking about, but it'd be too janky.
Tell me that wouldn't be better though. I'm just saying.
No, it wouldn't be better.
That's a more accurate representation of what a game is like. PKs are too different from the regular run of play.
I'm saying just take the PKs out of it and just continue playing.
I think that even has a less likelihood chance of happening just because player injuries.
But your MLS idea is better?
I think it is.
It's definitely not.
I think it is. I definitely think it is.
Well, how come the MLS doesn't use it anymore?
Well, because MLS is trying to be European. MLS has always been trying to be more
better.
European.
Everyone wants.
They're just trying to copy Europe, all right? MLS.
But if you're trying to copy Europe, then why do we still have the playoffs in MLS?
Well, there's been debate to take those away.
No.
There has.
Okay, but they're never going to take it away because we're still American, but...
They're trying to get more and more European in MLS, and I don't like it. Bring back the shootouts. I like those.
God, no.
Bring back the hockey shootouts. All right? We didn't end in ties back then. That was cool, man. I wish we still did that.
Ties, Americans hate ties.
Yeah.
We hate ties.
We do.
The famous saying, it's like kissing your sister. You never heard that?
I have heard it. All right? I have, obviously.
First of all, that's disgusting. Okay?
But that's the American comparison that we use.
Ties aren't that bad, okay? It's not kissing your guy. Come on, that's disgusting.
Yo, World Cup final. All right, World Cup final.
Oh, yeah, we're already talking about it? Yeah.
World Cup final. All right, and then Messi steps up. His penalty was nice. It just rolled into the bottom corner. Gave me a heart attack.
I did. First of all, I think that really proved he's like told the rest of the Argentina players, calm down. I mean, it's very hard to tell someone to calm down in a World Cup final. It's like telling the press person to cheer up. Like it's just really
just cheer up, buddy.
Cheer up, buddy.
Yo,
yeah.
World Cup final.
Relax. Yeah, sure. Try to relax. But Messi was relaxed. He just walks. He just starts up. It really just passes it. First of all, I think you and me could have saved that if we went the right way. Obviously,
he barely.
He got Lloris going the wrong way.
You wouldn't even pass a ball at that speed that he put that in the net.
Yeah.
He didn't even put it all the way to the side. Just rolled.
It was in the middle-ish left
side.
It was. Look, it went in, so it doesn't matter, but it's so calm, cool, and collective. Oh, my God.
I can't believe some people have the guts to do something like that.
Yeah, but and then, by the way, I knew Martinez was going to save one for Argentina. I was like, the question is Argentina going to hit all theirs? Because Martinez has been the best player, and best goalkeeper in the tournament. Mm-hmm. Best goalkeeper in the tournament. And later, he does win the best goalkeeper in the tournament. He's been lights out in PKs, mm-hmm. and obviously in the flow of the game when he saved it in the last second before mm-hmm. PKs. So he was on the game. I was like, all right, he's going to save one.
Well, undoubtedly deserved the Golden Glove. I don't think there was a question about that. And then Messi wins the Golden Ball, obviously.
He was the best player of the tournament. He was. Come on.
Was, but he just, it wasn't even biased because it was Messi. He just straight up was.
like the only other player would be Mbappe. Mm-hmm. But Mbappe won the most goals, which was weird because aren't they even on goals or no?
Yeah, then it goes to assists, I believe, and I think Mbappe technically had more.
Really?
Or it goes to some other stat that Mbappe was winning in. So
I guess they just want to give it to Mbappe because he was. He looked miserable after losing.
Obviously, the GOAT debate has to have been settled. I don't know who.
People still, Alexei Lalas and his.
Honestly,
I think it's Maradona. They asked him. They asked everyone after the tournament. I was on TikTok, and right away, everyone in the comments are like, "Well, it's L statement by Alexi Lalas again. They're like, why do they let Alexi Lalas? I'm not a big fan either, but I was like, really? Well, he didn't say Ronaldo, but he said it was I think it says Maradona. He literally just said
Maradona. Yeah, I think realistically the GOAT debate now. I think Messi has surpassed Ronaldo. I love Ronaldo. He is so good. If you watch him in his prime when he was playing for Real Madrid,
even before United.
My goodness! But it has to come down to either Messi, Maradona, or Pele.
I think it's Messi. I thought it was Messi.
I agree, but
obviously, I grew up with him. Even before this, I thought it was Messi. Now that he has won the tournament that has. First, last year, he finally won a tournament with Argentina, the Copa America, which is huge. It's a huge tournament. Wins that. Now he finally wins what he gets the monkey off his back. I mean, that's really.
But I think my thought process for this is realistically both players won everything that they could have. Maradona technically did not win the Copa America, actually. So
he never won the Champions League.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he won the Champions League.
He has.
Yeah, he won the Champions League with Napoli. He won the champ. They won the champ.
No, I don't know. I'm gonna. What year?
I just know that the only trophy that he hasn't won is the Copa America. That's the only one they didn't win. But for me, it comes down to the eyeball test. You just got to watch both players. Who do you think is better? And that is very, very tough to do when two players played at very, very different time frames. Because if you watch Maradona play and what he can do with the ball, oh my goodness.
First of all, he was even shorter than Messi. He was 5'5".
He was 5'5", and he was moving around with that ball. God knows how he jumped up to hit that hand of God into the back of the net.
Well, yeah, it was clearly by his hand.
Yeah.
Today's world, that's a handball. VAR would have been.
VAR would have been all over that.
Yeah.
But he just watch him do the ball. Like even watching him freestyle when he's not like playing in a game.
He loves the game. He loves
incredible.
He just loves the game.
As much as people want to get on Alexi Lalas' back for saying Maradona is better, I'm not going to straight up disagree with him. He was living in Maradona's time and he watched him play. Like
I'm not getting on his back too. I mean, it's always like in every sports. To be honest, the only sport I think you can't even debate it is hockey.
Yeah.
But Conor McDavid looks amazing if he continues this, maybe. But I think right now, like the sports, obviously,
Wayne Gretzky.
It's Wayne Gretzky. I know, but look at NBA. MJ, LeBron date, you can make cases for both. I think Jordan, but you can make the case for both.
Yeah.
Baseball, you can make a case for Ruth, Bonds, or whoever, and obviously everyone has their own case, or even Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
You make your case for everything. I think most sports you can make a case, and now soccer, there's a real case for Messi being the greatest of all time.
Mm-hmm. I still think you go back and forth. I think you really need to take Ronaldo out of the debate, unfortunately.
No, and nothing personal with him, but Ronaldo does. By the way, I wonder where he goes.
We'll discuss that at another time, to be honest. But that's a huge topic to talk about. But I think it really comes down to either Messi, Maradona, or Pele. And I feel like really, I don't want to sound too egotistical right here, but people who really know ball really love to watch Maradona and really see him as better than Pele, to be honest. Despite the gap in World
Pele's
Cup
always
trophies.
had better teams.
And 3 World Cups, being a significant part of 3 World Cup winning squads, no
3 World
joke.
Cups. But there's much less teams. The competition was as high.
Just when I use the eyeball test to watch Pele and Maradona, I take Maradona all day.
I love the eyeball test. I think because it really shows you like who's just better. If you just look at a player like this guy is the best of all time. I think that's what was with Jordan. You looked at Jordan, won Defensive Player of the Year. You just looked at Jordan. You're like, this guy is the greatest player of all time of this sport.
Yeah. And I feel like you have to use that for Messi versus Maradona, but that's really tough to do since they played at totally different time frames. So people who grew up watching Maradona, like Alexi Lalas, probably feel so biased just towards watching him. But us today, I didn't get to watch Maradona play. He was playing way before I was
You
born.
can look up on YouTube, obviously.
Yeah, I know, but I think it's something different when you're watching it in the time, in the flesh.
No, yeah.
I mean,
you can make a case defending has been so much better now in Messi's days. If you did look at defending back then against
it was a lot of
Maradona,
lunging.
It was just put your body in the line and they would slide tackle.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like
today there's jockeying and before you never really
stuff is just evolving so much. So I think it's tough to say. I really do think if you really use the eyeball test, you really got to go with Messi. But I can't fault anyone for taking Maradona over Messi still. I can't fault them.
No, I can't either. I mean, it's your opinion at the end of the day. Your opinion, I think, is wrong if you say Maradona. But, yeah, I mean, I think your opinion is wrong if you say LeBron. Mm-hmm. But it's your opinion.
And you know who also, in another news, Messi announced that he is not retiring from international play. So
I think it kind of makes sense now. Think about it. It makes sense now because what he said was like, I just want to play as a champion now. And I think he's just going to have so much fun Like, he has no more pressure on him. He doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
The Copa Americas next year, I think he's going to play in that.
He will probably play in that. And
he's just going to have fun. He's just going to... They win. Obviously, you always want to win. He's super competitive.
Mm-hmm.
But just that monkey off his back, it's going to be like, he finally won everything. He won everything he could have. At every club level, national level. He won the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
He won the U20 World Cup, right, as well? U18?
I believe it was U20, yeah.
U20. He won almost anything that he could have won, any competition, he's been the champion.
I actually think the only one that he hasn't won that he possibly could was like the French Cup or something like that.
But he's won the French League. French Cup, he technically won it this year. Seriously, who cares?
Who cares?
But he really has won everything that there is, and I wonder where he goes. I think he's going to leave PSG, to be honest. I really do. What else is...
I have no clue. Honestly, for me, it doesn't matter at this point.
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, I would love to see him in MLS in the United States. We would love to see that.
Mm-hmm. If he comes to the United States, though, that actually would be insanity.
We would bring soccer to a whole new level.
Oh my goodness! Like, think about the TV ratings for MLS then, and the ticket sales for MLS then. Like,
yeah, going to Red Bull Arena or Yankee Stadium, with prices going to go from $40 to I don't even know.
Can you imagine how, like, even a situation like the New England Revolution or NYCFC have playing in bigger stadiums? When Messi comes to play, they're probably going to sell
Gillette
so
Stadium,
many tickets.
by the way, like, let's say if he's going to MLS, he's going to Inter Miami. Obviously, he's not going to. I would love him to come to New York.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt he comes to NYCFC.
Definitely not.
Or beautiful Jersey.
No, he's going to Inter Miami. He's going to Inter Miami.
He's going to Inter Miami. Can you imagine the games like Inter Miami versus the New England Revolution at Gillette Stadium? He's going to sell out. It's going to be sell out the whole.
I wouldn't say sell out. 68,000 people.
Yeah, I think Messi has that appeal. Now that he's won the World Cup, all the real Americans, Messi guy.
Yeah. Well, he's going to set attendance records at like every single stadium he goes to.
Oh, no, for sure.
Every single stadium, even like Atlanta United, he's going to set attendance records. Charlotte FC, he's going to set an attendance record going there. It's crazy what he'll do when he's over here. But I guess looking at this Argentina team, how do you see them doing in the future?
I don't know. A friend of ours, Sean, was like, "Oh, they'll be fine. They're gonna be okay." Obviously, when Messi retires, first of all, Di Maria is one of the most underrated soccer players in the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
When he's fully healthy, and I don't think he was fully healthy yesterday. He showed what he could do. He was sensational as well,
Mm-hmm.
and he always shows up in the big games. But the problem was, he hasn't been healthy in the big games.
Yeah.
All the finals in Copa America, I don't think he's been there besides last year's. Obviously, scored in last year's final. Mm-hmm. And he's so underrated. And for Juventus, and even his dark days in Man United, he was so good when he was healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Van Gaal didn't like him. That's why he wasn't maybe playing as much and he was injured. But when he's fully healthy, I think Di Maria is one of the most underrated players. He's so good. He's so good.
He was electric this World Cup. He stayed healthy throughout the whole thing, and it clearly showed. So I can't fault him for that. This team in the Copa America next year, I think it's either
obviously they can win it.
Them or Brazil. Them or Brazil will win it.
Obviously they could win it.
I'm so excited for that tournament though, especially since the U.S. will be in it.
I want to see the U.S. and how they can do because I think obviously our whole end of the goal is for the U.S. to win a World Cup one day. I'm gonna be honest. I can't see it. Maybe we can go farther next World Cup, which we're gonna be hosting, which is gonna help us. But the teams, all right, these are the two teams in final. So this is what the U.S. is achieving for these two teams. The talent level in these two teams, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to get my American bias. It's just so much better.
Even when all these players are in their prime in 2026. I think it's just better, yeah. You look at a squad like France, there's not really any weak spots.
The only maybe player I think maybe can maybe get into the French squad from the American squad is maybe Tyler Adams. I think starting instead of Rabia.
I'm not even sure about that.
No, I'm just, okay, but
maybe. Yeah, maybe.
But okay, Pulisic is not, Dest is nowhere near,
no.
Anthony Robinson. I mean, and even on the bench.
I mean, maybe if Dembele is having a game like he did yesterday, Pulisic gets subbed on. But even still, they subbed on Marcus Thuram. Marcus Thuram is filthy.
That's what I mean. I'm not trying to be negative, not to bash us, but I
don't think any American is saying let's win the World Cup in 2026. I think they're saying let's get to the quarters or semis. And if you look at the teams in the quarters and the semis, they can definitely get to that level with the squad that they have right now.
That I agree. I mean, let's look at the teams in the quarters. Croatia, I mean, they're just too many veterans. I don't think we can get to that level. I think that's what our goal should be. I think
kind of like Croatia, how Croatia does, getting into the semifinals or the finals.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if USA can make the finals in 2026 though, especially when you
We're
look
not.
at.
We're not at all. I mean, after 2026, where's the next World Cup after that? They didn't announce it, right?
No, they haven't announced who's hosting it next.
Will it be 2030?
2030 World Cup.
So that's when, like, I mean, 2026. So Pulisic is gonna be his prime.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna be in their prime.
Yeah. So the squad definitely isn't good enough to win the World Cup in that one.
It's not really. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it changes that much. Maybe like Paxton Aronson goes in.
The squad itself. Oh no, the projected squad in the 2026 World Cup is like the same it is now, except like Zimmerman isn't there, or Tim Ream isn't there.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that changes. And
Carter Vickers definitely starts. He's like only 26 now, so
Yeah.
he's gonna be like 30 or something like that. Goalie, I think it's gonna be the kid from Chicago Fire. Is he on Chelsea or Madrid?
Who is that? Sorry. Oh, he's on Chelsea.
He's on Chelsea.
Solanina.
Okay, yeah. Because he's I know he's half American and was it Serbian?
Serbian, yeah.
But he said he's gonna play for the U.S. right?
Yeah, he's playing. He's American. He's gonna be playing for the U.S. and he's on Chelsea right now.
I mean, again, it's like that debate. Like we have these young big stars in Europe, but besides like Weston McKennie and Tyler Adams and the Leeds players, none of them are really in starting time.
No, I agree. But anyways, for one moment, let's move on from the U.S. Let's talk about France. What's gonna happen with them?
They're gonna be people joking around. It's like now that Ronaldo, Messi, and Neymar are not gonna be there, I think this is I think they're gonna win it again. They're not gonna win it again. They're gonna win it. I think 2026. Look how young their team is. So Dembele is still gonna be there next year, or 4 years. Dembele is gonna be there, right? Mbappe, obviously.
Mbappe will be there.
Tchouameni and Camavinga are gonna be running that midfield, right?
Upamecano will be there.
Upamecano.
They'll have Konate in the back as well.
Yeah, and Hernandez is gonna be there. And then Lloris obviously not gonna be there, but the goalkeeper for AC Milan, Mike Mignola.
Yeah, I know
He's
about.
Probably the best goalkeeper in the world, the best goalkeeper last year. So he's gonna be there, and then they just took factory. They have so much young talent, the French. So they'll be fine. They'll be so fine. I think they might even be better. I mean, actually, I don't know. They won't have the veteran presence of like Ron or Griezmann.
But even then, Mbappe will be in his third World Cup. He could definitely be in a leadership role by then.
But he's gonna be, what is he, maybe 27?
27, yeah, that's not. That'll be fine.
That's so young. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll see how Mbappe evolves as a leader. See how much he grows.
I wonder, because I don't know. I don't really see myself as much a leader. I think he's so selfish. But that's why it makes him also so good, though.
But he
His selfishness. He wants to be the man, to be like, I'm the man. Give me the ball.
You're not the height of your maturity though. At the age of 23.
No, I agree. But I wonder at 27, what is he going to be? Because he can't. I say he can't be doing this, but he it was him or Messi that was the best player of this tournament. And Mbappe almost single-handedly won France this World Cup.
He did, actually, yeah.
He had a slow game against England. I mean, I think that was Southgate just shutting him down.
And he started off very slow in this one.
He started off this one, and then in the semifinals he was okay against Morocco. But he just turned up, and he just single-handedly carried France almost to victory.
So what we're going to potentially see France in next is the Euro 2024, assuming they make it out of their qualifying group.
I think they will. Where is that, by the way?
It's in Germany, Euro 2024. It's going to be in Germany. So that's going to be a great tournament.
I always love the Euros. By the Euros is my second favorite tournament. It's always really fun.
Really, for me, Copa America goes
Really?
second. I feel a lot of nostalgia for the 2016 one when the U.S. was in it.
Okay, only when the U.S. is in it, though. But let's say when they're not in it.
When they're not in it? Okay, yeah, then the Euros definitely come second.
Okay, so, yeah, that's...
I just love watching my U.S. play, you know? But other than that, so France, I think, definitely emerged as favorites to win the Euro 2024 and the World Cup 2026. Just current favorites, though, because obviously one-off games, when you're in playoffs, anything can happen. What other teams look good for the Euro 2024?
Germany, I don't know what's going on with them.
I really don't see them making any major pushes in Euro 2024. Like,
They're still going to be good, but, like, I don't...
The problems that they have right now, I don't see getting solved super quickly.
Me too. I don't see it
in 2 years.
I think Spain has a chance to win the next World Cup in Euros. They have such a young squad.
That's true.
Spain are going to be really good for a while.
England, their squad is so good. They just can't get over.
I'm going to be honest. It's kind of like you say, like the Mets are going to be the Mets. I think England's going to be England.
Yeah.
I think they're going to find a way, especially if Southgate's still there. They're definitely not going to win anything. Yeah, they might go to the finals, semifinals, but they just can't get over that hump.
And we forget, actually, you know who's really good favorites to win the Euros? Italy. Italy should definitely be favorites to win
That's
that.
absurd. First of all, Italy could have won this World Cup.
Yeah. If they had made it, if they had gotten past North Macedonia and Portugal, I would have taken them to go to, like, the quarterfinals at least. Just looking at their squad.
amazing, amazing. Donnarumma. I mean,
Yeah.
That team now I think about it. He's very young too.
And they would have been in the pot with Ghana, Uruguay,
Yeah, they
and
would have
South
got out.
Korea.
They would have won that. I think they would have won that very single-handedly.
Yeah, I can't believe that though. I can't believe. And then they would have played. They would have played Switzerland in the round of 16. I see them winning that. It's insanity that this team missed out on 2 World Cups in a row. 2 World Cups in a row.
But then they win the Euros in between. I mean, that's European football for you, though.
They won the Euros, so they're the best team in Europe. But they couldn't.
They're the best team in Europe. I think so. It's them or France.
But they couldn't make it out of a European qualifying group. It's crazy. It's wild. I don't think we're ever going to see something like that ever again.
I don't think you can. If your team's good enough to win a European championship, then you have to be good enough to get out of a group. You should be beating North Macedonia, and I think, by the way, they're better than Portugal. So,
you know what though? I'm okay with Portugal. Ronaldo got to have his last dance, even though it was definitely not how he planned it to go.
I kind of wish they went to the semis. To be honest, it was I was like, all right, I kind of wish they beat Morocco, and then they would have lost to France in the semis. It would. I kind of wish he went a little farther, and it was so awkward. Just Ronaldo, he didn't play, and I wonder where his career goes from now. And supposedly, I don't know if you heard, he wants to play in the Euros. And was it 2 years?
2 years, 2024.
So he's gonna be basically almost 40, trying to. He didn't get in the starting lineup this World Cup. You think he's gonna be starting?
People
in the Euros?
really need to plummet their expectations for what he does in that tournament, though, because I would not give him a starting job. I'd just be like, hey, you're the veteran. Just lead by example, all right? And I'll put you in.
He doesn't want to do that, though. You know that.
Obviously, he would not want to do that. But if you're just looking at on paper who you want to put in, it would not be Ronaldo. It wouldn't be.
I say we talk about Mbappe and even though they did lose, what does this mean for his legacy, man? He's so hungry. He's so good. All the hate he gets. They lost this game, obviously. If he won this game, then he's not in the GOAT debate yet. But he's so there already. But
honestly,
he's so good. He's so talented.
Scoring a hat trick in a World Cup final has only happened once before, and Mbappe was the second player to do it, and he's 23. Like for me, this does not hurt his legacy whatsoever. But obviously,
almost in a weird way, it almost boosts it with still losing the game. I don't think
you. Yeah, actually, that makes some sense to me, honestly. But his legacy is gonna be, obviously he's not gonna. When his career is said and done, we're just going to be pulling up stats going like how many Champions Leagues, how many French leagues, all this, and there's one World Cup that you can't put on there. And I think that's it for me, because he was on a team that was struggling to begin with, and then mostly because of him, turned it all around at such a young age for one of the best squads in the world. Like, how impressive is that? Just to think about a 23-year-old turning around the French squad, a 23-year-old turning them around, scoring a hat trick in a World Cup final. That's incredible right there. That's absolutely incredible. And for me, I really would probably still take Haaland over him personally.
You can make a case for both, though. Obviously, recently, everyone's going to be like, oh, Mbappe, take Mbappe.
Yes.
Like, we haven't seen Haaland play in almost 2 months now. So... I'm just gonna go with Mbappe because of recency bias. But you can make a case for Haaland. Both of them are gonna be. It's crazy though that we're gonna compare them. They're our next generation's Ronaldo and Messi. It's crazy to say that because I don't think they're anywhere near their level. I think they're just that much better.
But that's
we'll see. We'll see.
The new generation of people who are gonna be watching soccer during this time, they're gonna be the ones who are going back and forth saying who's better, Haaland or Mbappe, Haaland or Mbappe.
And I think like. Their Neymar, we talked about it yesterday, is going to be Vinicius Jr.
Yeah, Vinicius Jr., he's also going to be just lights out. And then, you'll also see a lot of other young players who are making a big name for themselves, like Musiala, Jude Bellingham, Gavi. A lot of those players are just going to be... Oh, I'm so excited for that. To watch them play in their upcoming international tournaments, it's going to be amazing.
Look, football's never dead, so it's...
Never.
Soccer, it's going to...
Never.
You still have so many young stars. I mean, it's really sad to see... Technically, this is Neymar's last tournament. I doubt it. I believe with you. I think he's going to play again because he's only, what is he, 30?
Yeah, he said this was his last This was his last World Cup. I don't think he said anything about him not playing in the Copa America next year, though. So I believe he will be there for that one, which that'll be great, actually. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, he's only 30 years old. So that means he's going to be 34. I mean, he could definitely play. Ronaldo's 37 in this one. Messi's 34.
35.
35. So I think Neymar could definitely play in the next World Cup. But
he should.
if this is the last World Cup, it's super sad. Feel bad for him.
By the
It's
way,
Luka Modric's last World Cup.
yeah. By the way, I was gonna say Brazil favorites to win 2026, but they lost my trust for the last three.
By the
World
way,
Cups.
the last 3 World Cups are their favorites, and they're always the favorites. And I just
they choked. They choked badly in all of those World Cups. I'm gonna be straight up.
they lost to Belgium 2018.
Yeah, and then they lost obviously humiliation in the 2014
Germany, yeah.
one, and then also honestly humiliation in this one, losing to Croatia in a PK shootout when no one picked Croatia to win. Honestly.
Yeah, and one in 2010 South Africa. Who'd they lose to?
2010 South Africa. I'm trying to remember actually. Didn't they lose?
Germany.
Didn't they lose to the Netherlands?
I can't even be honest. I can't even tell you. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think.
They went on the quarterfinals.
They went to quarterfinals because I know the semifinals was like Germany, Uruguay.
Yeah, it was the semifinals was Germany, Uruguay, Spain, and the Netherlands.
Yeah.
So yeah, they lost to the Netherlands.
Uruguay beat Ghana.
Yes, no, I remember now. Netherlands beat them 1-0.
Okay.
So I mean, they lost to the eventual finalist, but I don't think. And Spain were favorites to win that World Cup. So, but
Well, that was literally one of the greatest teams of all time.
yeah,
So.
the last 3 World Cups they've been favorites to win, and they've crashed.
All in the quarterfinals. They haven't gone to the semis in
No, the
forever.
2014.
Oh well, yeah, but okay. Well, that's one way to go to the quarter, go past the quarterfinals.
And they didn't. They also bombed the third place game in that one as well. If you remember, they lost 3-0.
Well,
to
that was
the
such a weird
Netherlands.
game. After you lose 7-1, literally the most historic thing is.
Genuinely, I don't know what happens to you. What happens to you mentally when you've been humiliated in front of all your fans? Like, they got this World Cup so that you could win it. And then you lose 7-1 in the semifinals.
I wonder where the next World Cup is after, obviously, the U.S. one. I don't know. There's a lot of rumors. I think the one they're saying, and it would make sense, is the Uruguay one because it's going to be over 100 years for the World Cup.
Oh,
The
that's
host-
true.
Because Uruguay and Argentina want to co-host or something like that.
You know what? I think they should keep doing the co-hosts. Like, they could literally do it, like, a bunch... like
Usually I like where one country... Sometimes it makes sense to co-host. First, the only one... This one, the next World Cup, I keep forgetting it's not going to be just in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of weird. The three of our... Three nations... I don't know why Canada's there. I'm going to be honest. Like it's
Mexico has 3 stadiums that will be used, and Canada has 2.
Yeah.
And then the USA has, like
9.
13 or something like that.
13 of those like
something,
9.
something,
I'm trying to...
9, I don't know, something
Well,
crazy.
the thing is, first of all, Mexico has and can host a World Cup on its
can,
own.
yeah.
Canada cannot.
No.
But I don't know why it's just not the U.S. or just Canada or just Mexico or like it was very strange. But
It's essentially the North American World Cup.
No, it is the North.
And
Yeah.
they could do the South American World Cup in 2030 and have like Uruguay, Brazil, Argentina, Chile, and have all those countries hosted.
But then who's gonna have the final for that? Like, you're always gonna be fighting for the final.
It's got to be Brazil. It's got to be the Americana.
But where's the final gonna be for the next World? We just still don't know, right?
Yeah, no.
They never officially answered. There's always rumors like it's gonna be in America. I think just the biggest. It's gonna have to be.
It's either Cowboy Stadium or SoFi.
Yeah.
I hope it is at least.
SoFi is gorgeous.
Yeah, if they have it in SoFi, that's
The only thing is the timing's gonna be bad. You always gotta think about the world timing. Like
That's true.
Like obviously you can't satisfy every time zone in the world,
Mhm.
but you have to somewhat kind of structure around every time zone. Because like I remember in 2018 it was in Russia, so that was pretty easy with like Japan and stuff like that. Because I know like in Australia is like super ahead of us, like 15 hours. But if the game's in the West Coast, you need to. So I think it's probably gonna be. It's either gonna be in the East Coast. I'm gonna be honest. It might be.
If they have it in
It's
MetLife.
obviously MetLife. The stadiums are MetLife in Dallas, Texas, which is huge. They could fit 120,000 or something.
Yeah, something like that. People are saying the Azteca, which would be cool, but I don't see that happening.
Well, that's the only. If it's not in America, that's the only place. Obviously, it's not gonna be in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna be in Canada.
Are
But
they gonna have it in Toronto?
yeah, we're gonna have it in Toronto. And
World Cup final in Toronto. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
they're gonna have the Bell Center. We're gonna have the
Exactly.
Canadian. Yeah, they're gonna
Yes.
the Canadians are gonna be playing in Game 6 while the
I can't believe that. No, but
Canadians love their hockey.
so much to look forward to. The next big one, honestly, though, is Copa America 2023. Early prediction for that one. I say Brazil win that.
No, they're not.
I say Brazil win it, just blatant honesty, because they don't have to come up against Croatia in a PK shootout. So I'm going to take Brazil in that one. But there's so much to look forward to. And then we also got club soccer coming up now still. So
One is, by the way, Premier League, because like
Premier League starts on December 31st. So
next-
I'm talking literally like 1 week.
yeah, I mean I'm so excited. I mean Celtic already played last week. I completely forgot about that. Like other leagues is kind of started ish. I know Germany they kind of took a little break. I know Spain and France and Italy take a big winter break. Or not a big, but like
And then Champions League, we got to wait till February.
yeah. Well, but like
But that's like normal.
yeah.
But there's
It's gonna be weird watching like RB Leipzig versus even RB Leipzig versus Man City. I could care less anymore. I mean,
after you've seen the greatest one of the greatest soccer matches ever played.
Yeah.
And it's so many of the greatest soccer matches ever played. Like, this World Cup, like, just based off results, it beats 2014, it beats 2018, it beats 2010. Like,
Yeah.
I can't think of any other World Cup. You're going to have to go back to, like, the 60s to find
I mean, I could
anything.
still watch my Celtic all the time, though.
Of
I can
course.
watch
I can watch
Celtic versus Motherwell.
Yeah, obviously. Everyone's going to watch their own team, but just I'm going to miss just 4 matches.
I missed the World Cup.
4 matches in one day or
Yeah.
all that stuff, and you want to watch every single match. I'm going to miss all that, but it's okay. We'll be back. International football will be back. Club football will be back, and we're going to get to see some more amazing talents that broke out in this World Cup playing for their club, which is going to be great. We're going to see players like Gakpo, the South Korean striker. We're going to be some of those breakout stars. Emi Martinez back at Aston Villa. We're going to see some breakout stars playing. I'm so excited to see this.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I got. I mean.
Yep, that's all I got. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care and have a good rest of your day.
Yeah.